The assassination of President John F. Kennedy remains an open wound in the world's memory. On that November day in 1963, more than a life was lost. Public trust and a sense of certainty were shattered. The event, broadcast live, defied simple explanation and left the official story of a lone gunman in constant doubt. The Warren Commission's neat conclusions never satisfied the millions haunted by the Zapruder film and unanswered questions. Over decades, declassified documents have only deepened the mystery, revealing a world of covert operations and secret alliances. The assassination is not just history, it's a living puzzle, with each new file inviting us to question what we know. Now, as the last classified files are released, we're compelled to revisit Dallas and confront the truth hidden for over 60 years. These documents are not relics, they're the final chapters of a story that shaped our reality. The importance of this event has only grown, reminding us how fragile truth is and how a single moment can alter history. The search for answers continues as the wound of 1963 refuses to heal. The full declassification of the JFK files in 2025 doesn't provide a single answer. Instead, they reveal a tangled web of interests and parallel plots converging in Dallas. The files confirm the assassination was not the work of one man, but a convergence of powerful groups, anti-Castro exiles, the mafia, and elements within the CIA and military. This was by design layers of complicity and plausible deniability perfected by Cold War intelligence. The documents connect dots between spies, mobsters, and paramilitaries, showing they often work together in the shadows. The assassination looks less like a random act and more like the inevitable result of a toxic environment. Multiple plots moved in parallel, creating a perfect storm and a hall of mirrors that shielded the true architects. The files don't name a new killer. They map the treacherous landscape that made the crime possible. The new files expose a toxic alliance at the heart of the plot, the CIA and organized crime. Operation ZR Rifle recruited mobsters like Santo Trafficante Jr. and Johnny Roselli to assassinate Castro, forging a dangerous partnership. When Kennedy withheld support at the Bay of Pigs, both CIA-trained Cuban exiles and their mafia allies felt betrayed. The files reveal mob bosses like Carlos Marcello openly discussing revenge as the Kennedys' crackdown threatened their survival. Anti-Castro Cubans trained in sabotage and the mafia with their resources and ruthlessness became a lethal force. Elements within the CIA, angered by Kennedy's policies, provided expertise and cover for a sophisticated plot. These weren't separate groups, they were a three-headed serpent with a single target. The alliance set the stage for a conspiracy that would haunt history. For decades, Oswald was painted as a lone, disgruntled Marxist. The 2025 files reveal he was a pawn, surrounded by figures tied to intelligence and anti-Castro circles. In New Orleans, he posed as a pro-Castro activist, yet shared space with anti-Castro operatives and mob associates. The files support theories of Oswald impersonators, with evidence of a false trail linking him to communist governments. Oswald's own words, "I'm just a patsy," now carry chilling weight. He had intelligence connections and a life full of contradictions, making him the perfect scapegoat. The files suggest Oswald was not the sole actor, but a disposable piece in a masterful plot. The cover-up began as soon as the shots were fired. The declassified files show the FBI and CIA managed the investigation to protect their own secrets, not to find the truth. J. Edgar Hoover rushed to close the case, focusing on Oswald as the lone gunman to shield the Bureau from scrutiny. The CIA withheld its plots against Castro and its mafia connections from the Warren Commission, omitting crucial context. This deliberate confusion guaranteed a flawed investigation and fueled decades of conspiracy theories. The chaos was intentional, a fog of competing stories to bury the truth. The architects of confusion knew that if they couldn't hide the crime, they could make the truth impossible to find. The result, a legacy of doubt and mistrust that endures to this day. The single bullet theory is the cornerstone of the lone gunman narrative. The files and decades of analysis show its physical implausibility. A bullet causing multiple wounds, yet found nearly pristine. Ballistics experts argue the bullet's condition defies physics, and the required trajectory is highly improbable. The Zapruder film's evidence and the House Select Committee's findings point to multiple shooters. Acoustic evidence captured a fourth shot from the grassy knoll, contradicting the Warren Commission. The single bullet theory remains an undeniable anomaly. It is the foundation of the case for conspiracy, a mystery the official story can't explain away. The Kennedy assassination was more than a crime. It was psychological warfare against the public. The goal wasn't just to kill a president, but to destroy the idea of a shared reality. The operation created a permanent state of confusion, where truth became elusive and trust eroded. By involving disconnected groups, the architects ensured a web of confusion that would shield them for decades. The explosion of conspiracy theories was the intended result, leaving the public divided and cynical. After Dallas, faith in government was replaced by suspicion and doubt. The event taught a generation that official stories can be monumental deceptions. This legacy of distrust echoes through every national crisis since. The search for truth is a fight against engineered confusion, a refusal to accept lies as reality. The final files may not bring peace, but they confirm our distrust was justified, and the wound remains until the truth is fully known.